Zenith Bank Media, in collaboration with the Bureau of Technical Matters, presents Lest We Forget, a celebration of the magical and pragmatic strides of the Chief Godswill Akpabio administration in closing the loud development gulf between the past and the present in Akwa Ibom State. Lest we forget the true story of uncommon transformation.
Though not in any schedule of the Nigerian Constitution, the Nigerian Governors Forum, NGA, has evolved into a major player in the country's body polity. Not only is the forum a rallying point for the 36 state governors of the Federation, it is also a pressure group for good governance in the country. Lest we forget, it is our action-soaked governor, Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio, confident of the magical transformation he had brought to bear in the state, that mooted the idea to promote peer review and note comparison. It was therefore no surprise that the group of 36 eggheads elected to inaugurate a steering committee under his leadership to fine-tune modalities for a select group of seasoned journalists, online bloggers, proactive civil society organization members, combative labor leaders, renowned critics and cynics of government to tour all the states of the Federation, to see and report to the world the success or otherwise of the nation's fledgling democracy. This select group of societal watchdogs constitute what is today famed as the Nigerian Good Governance Tour Group. After visiting about 16 states of the Federation, the time was nigh for the group to visit the home state of their chief progenitor, Chief Godswill Akpabio, led by the Honorable Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku. The team, which also included the National President of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Malam Mohabed Garuba, and other leaders of note, birthed the Land of Promise on Thursday, 7th March 2013, to the warm embrace of the State Chief Executive at the brand new Governor's Office.
And welcome our dear guests and the voice of Nigeria at the federal level, my brother Labaran, the son of the soil, the Minister of Science and Technology, Professor Owa, the Secretary to Government Commissioners and Special Advisors, very esteemed members of the Good Governance Tour team, particularly my good brother, President of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Mohamed Garuba. As you're always very quick to point out the bad things in your country, also say, well, when I went to Akwa Ibom, it's as if something is happening there. Don't say it is happening, don't say it's as if something is happening there. So, Honourable Minister, I welcome you and your team on behalf of the good people of the state. What should you expect that will be different from other states of the Federation? Every state is progressing. Whenever I watch the Good Governance Tour on television, the minister is always saying, oh, the state is doing well. So far, no state has done badly. So the 16 states have done well. All these are right. Good means that Nigeria is doing well. So maybe when you are through with this one, you will say, yes, all states are doing well, but this one is being slightly excellent.
Your Excellency, let me on behalf of the visiting team, the National Good Governance Tour team, extend our appreciation to you for the welcome to Akwa Ibom State. I would like to start by thanking you personally on behalf of the team, because you serve as the chairman of the Committee of Governors that went through the details of this program and approved it for implementation. I must say that When we presented the program to the Federal Executive Council, and the President directed us to present it to the National Economic Council so that we can take all the states on board, you approved it at the National Economic Council with all the governors in attendance or their representatives. Your Excellency, this is the 16th state you are visiting since we started this program after you gave all the program. I must confess that wherever we have gone, we have seen efforts being made by the federal government, state governments, and local governments to put infrastructure and social services in place for the service of our people, the welfare of the people of Nigeria. Today, we're in Akwa Ibom State. Your Excellency, Akwa Ibom is about 25 years old, created in 1987. And I had a privilege to be in this stage severally when I was a journalist, practicing journalism in Lagos, and also when I was doing development work with the United States Agency for International Development. We used to come onto Uyo severally to look at community projects, to engage civil society in the heydays of military rule. And when we used to come to Uyo, one symbol we saw in Uyo were narrow roads and plenty of motorcycles. Each time you went to any roundabout in Uyo, you could see the level of development in the faces of the people, in the nature of the roads, and everywhere you went, you see the infrastructure was really down there. Today, anybody coming to our work on stage cannot admit that democracy in this state has delivered people from poverty, has delivered people from lack of infrastructure. Akwa Ibom is one of the most visible places. If you have been here before this democracy and now, you can see that democracy has worked in this state.
After the speeches and the presentation of the Uncommon Transformation souvenir packages to the team, the Good Governance Tour of Akwa Ibom commenced, with the State Chief Executive taking his august guest on an extensive tour of the new Governor's Office, Governor's Lodge, and adjoining offices, all initiated and completed by his administration. The team was also in awe as the state governor regaled them with models of some ongoing projects as well as the brand new banquet hall, also built by his administration.
This one is just a small dining room for the governor to eat with commissioners and maybe permanent secretaries or dignitaries. At least this can accommodate maybe just 100 people eating with the governor. Then you also have some private dinings also, where you can have 20, 25, 15 and all that. So we have like two of these like this. Okay. Along this way. One is in the next place. So in case we have an event and there are people to see, so we can meet them here and then distract them without necessarily moving them to the lunch. Then the other section also has the rooms for artists to change. There's training, rehearsal rooms. It also has breakout rooms. It's quite a big complex. Two undergrounds. One has an industrial kitchen. The other one has industrial laundry. All on the ground. Then, when you step outside, you'll see some green roofs. We do some guest houses also, which we make sure that it can accommodate at least the governor, the Niger Delta State. So, if the governor comes in, we can have straight into his own lodge.
The wit and charm of the state chief executive waned as the team exited his magical presence to continue their tour of democracy deliverables in Nigeria's 24th state. After a brief stopover at the Nwaiba Road water fountain, the team proceeded to the 21st century compliant Akwa Ibom International Airport. Otuekong Idonsen Kanga, Chairman Ibom Airport Development Company, AKIA, and Captain Jerry Williams, the Managing Director of the airport, were on hand to take the team round the first-class facilities of the state official gateway.
On behalf of the Akwa Ibom State International Airport team, I'd like to welcome you to this airport. We are the gateway to Akwa Ibom State here. As you go around, you are likely to see so many projects, but we do know that without the airport, most of the other things, people won't have access to them. So we try to put what we can here to make this airport acceptable nationally and internationally. The main thrust of this airport, like I mentioned, is this maintenance and repair and overhaul facility. When this is done, all the aircraft operating in this country and within this region will find it convenient to come here. As of now, I'm not sure we have anything better than this, even in Egypt and South Africa. So we'll be having about the best in the continent. The height of it is about 87 meters. That's the highest point that you have there. The type of aircraft we are looking for, 747. You can take 2 of it, wingtip to wingtip, nose in completely, and the 2 flap doors are closed and is fully air conditioned. And for the smaller aircraft like the 737, we can have about 6 of them in there.
If the team was thoroughly impressed with the Armada facilities and future prospects at the Ibom Airport, then they must have been thoroughly thrilled by the cornucopia of entertainment concerns located within the 33 billion naira Ibom Tropicana Entertainment Center. The Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Umana Okonumana, assisted by the Commissioner for Special Duties, Barrister Austin Bay, led the societal watchdogs around facilities like the shopping mall, the Cineplex, the International Convention Center, the 14-story Hilton Hotel, the wet and dry theme parks, all within the massive 82-hectare complex.
This is the shopping mall. We are at that end right now, and I will use this temporary entrance to get in here. As I explained, the entrance would be at the end where we have the ball. So that is that component, the shopping mall and the Cineplex. Then of course the hotel, then there's the theme park where we are able to see that, at the convention center.
Honorable Minister, you are welcome. This is Ibom Tropicana Hotel, a 251-room apartment comprising of 14 floors. We've now reached the final floor. We are now embarking on the internal finishing. Honorable Minister, by special grace of God, this 5-star hotel, having regard and relied on the negotiations so far entered with Hilton's Worldwide, is going to be run by Hilton Hotel, the second in the country so far.
This is the shopping mall, which is part of the complex. And at the other end, we have the Cineplex. When we talk about, you'll be able to look at that other complex. This will be the main entrance, so that even those who are going to watch movies have to walk through this mall.
It's going to be a facility that can accommodate well over 8,000 people on a floor. And there is also a provision for what His Excellency described as the ECOWAS hall that can also take care of about 5,000 people below the ground floor. There is going to be an electronic device that will interpret various languages into a common one used by the present person addressing the audience.
Professor Mrs. Comfort Ekpo, Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, was the next high-ranking public official to receive the team. This she did at the permanent campus of the Citadel of Learning. After the formalities, she then took them on a tour of facilities at the federal government-owned university.
Excellency, we want to welcome all of you down here. This is University of Uyo.
Professor's offices with small pocket research laboratories attached to them. That's basically what it is. It has a little resource center. The building is Faculty of Science building.
All of these are engineering laboratories. quite sufficiently equipped to give us full accreditation. But the engineering faculty, our own faculty, is one faculty that we want to showcase, we want it to be a flagship.
The 500-unit, 3-bedroom en-suite flats housing estate, constructed by the state government at Idu, Uran local government area, was a premier destination of the team on its second day in Akwa Ibom State, Friday, 8 March 2013. Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem, Commissioner for Housing and Urban Renewal, was on hand to take the team into the massive project supervised by his ministry.
This housing unit here holds 515 units. They are all 3-bedroom en-suites. It's a low-cost housing estate. We have one other location at Ikolepe that holds 300. We have another location at Eket that holds about 300. 200 in Ikorobasi, 200 in Oron, 200 in Abak. That's spread over the first set of the local government that we acquired when we became a state. Those are the major cities. So we are targeting 10,000 housing units. We are hoping that at completion, the housing unit will be given first line to public servants. It's the intention of this government that all public servants should retire at the point of, at retirement should go back to their houses and not rent apartments.
Very, very good program. Very, very good. Housing is one of the basic needs of man, and outside food and clothing, the next basic need is housing. And of all the species that man has made, is human beings that live in their own houses. I think it's very, very important that we provide houses for people, and we have gross housing shortages in the country. Recently, the federal government passed a new housing policy, which includes social housing, that is housing for the poorest of the poor, creating infrastructure for them.
Thereafter, the team inspected some federal government projects in the state, like the exquisitely finished Uyo Federal High Court and Central Bank building.
The Honorable Minister, the SSG and other commissioners present. My name is Ikwo Richie Maini. I am the Admin Officer 1 of this Federal High Court Uyo. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Federal High Court Uyo today. This building was commissioned just last year, in September. There was a huge conference, all the judges were here. The Chief Judge of the Commission was here as well. It is a very nice edifice, as everyone can see. It's got 2 courtrooms, and we have 2 judges in this division. Then we have offices on the ground floor, well furnished for administrative work. Then we've got the bailiff section and the process section.
Honorable Minister and the entourage. My name is Mwoko Kapoke. I'm the acting branch controller. This Central Bank of Central Bank branch is a new branch. Unfortunately, this branch has not been commissioned. I expect the hard-working command of this state, if Akpabio will do us the honor by coming to officially commission this place. Very welcome to this branch.
A hasty reformer who does not remember the past will find himself condemned to repeat it. These are the wise words of a great scholar, John Bacham. When God's will was done in Akwa Ibom in 2007 and he emerged governor, Chief Dr. Godswill Oborokpabio CON was certainly at home with the ugly past of the state and had resolved to change it. Little wonder, within just 5 years, the entire landscape has been transformed with a crystal clear difference between the past and the present. As the Uncommon Transformation train cruises on and a new Akwa Ibom keeps emerging, it behoves us to place the past side by side the present, lest we forget. Welcome to Lest We Forget, a confluence of the past and the present for the sake of the future. Lest we forget the true story of Uncommon Transformation.
The team was then shown round the state government's 8.1 kilometer constructed route in the banking layout, as well as the mini Disney Park segment of the Tropicana Exhibition Center. Engineer Eti Doyang and Mr. Nyekan Umana were also part of the tour.
Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the financial district of Uyo capital city. We just drove through the district, and the road network you have seen. This was commissioned 2 years ago, constructed by the present administration. This was commissioned by the president, and it's part of the planning of the capital city.
And this is exactly the kind of thing that we think all governments should do, state governments. You create an environment and businesses will come. This is how it should be, and it makes the city, look quite modern. And I think this is very, very good. Economic impact of this can only be imagined, because as more banks come here, they will create a lot of jobs for the people of Akwa Ibom State and other citizens of Nigeria. It will also increase your economic development. So I think this is really very, very good. And we commend the state government for this vision. And in the future, you can imagine what district will look like. This is good.
Honorable Minister, this is the vision of His Excellency to stop that capital flight from Nigerians, where at any holidays or any time you want to have leisure, you will go to Dubai or you go to Disney. So we call these a mini Disney. We have a total of 17 dry rides comprising of the major roller coasters. We have a giant wheel of 32 meters and other rides. This is a mixture for both the youth and the adults. On the wet park area, we have the lazy river and of course with the water splash area as well. We have other comfortable areas where people can come in for their leisure. It's an international design area to actually bring in vision of transforming Akwa Ibom State to a state of destination. This is one of the landmark projects of His Excellency.
Other state government projects visited by the team included the Akanodo Road and Roundabout, reputed to be the biggest in West Africa. The first electronic library in West Africa, complete with its alluring facilities and breathtaking ambience. The 3 concentric flyover bridges along Itam Junction and Abak Road. The 21st anniversary specialist hospital under construction at Ekritam along Ikorekpene Road. The 39.8 billion naira worth 30,000 capacity Olympic-sized stadium under construction and modeled after Madiba Stadium at Johannesburg, South Africa. The first in Africa pipe-jacking stormwater underground drainage and the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital. At all the project sites visited, the relevant commissioners and project consultants took the team into the workings of the project in the case of the completed ones and the anticipated completion date and designs for projects still under construction.
Honorable Minister, gentlemen of the press, where we are now is the location of the concentric flyovers around what used to be known as Itam Junction. Well, it's still known as Itam Junction. We have 3 flyovers here, initiated and completed by His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio. We have flyover 1 over there, Then flyover 2 is where the bridge we are on top of, and flyover 3 we shall drive through that. This also came alongside the dualization of this federal road going to Calabar. The road we are on, the road you are seeing here now goes straight to Calabar. It's a federal road. We took it all the way, 29, 30 kilometers on the way to Calabar. And this way goes all the way to Port Harcourt. It's another federal road all the way to Port Harcourt. We've taken it all the way to Abag and then made it right to Ikorodu. You will see as we move on.
In a bid to prove to the team that the projects were no flukes nor inherited from previous administrations, the SSG-led state delegation also took the team to 2 secondary schools in the state with contrasting ambiances. There were a typically intervened school in St. Michael's African School, Efiaro Fort, and one yet to feel the Midas touch of the Apabio era, in Ibesipo Secondary Commercial School, Nodo. The visit to the latter also coincided with its inter-house sports competition.
I'm really very happy to have the Honorable Minister in our midst. It's that the work of God. It's the secondary commercial school at Nodo. We are suffering, as we are already saying, but with that promise we are sure because our governor is a promise keeper. I'm quite sure of that. I know about him. Now, one of the activities we are doing now was for the past 7 years we couldn't do it because of some lapses, but now we have corrected with his promises and really happy. We are now more sure of what he has said that by the second quarter, innovation will start. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Your school was already listed for the next quarter, which is April. So the team from the state government, under what we call the Interministerial Direct Labor, will be coming here to turn things around in this school, just like they have done in the other 200 and something schools. You know, we have over 300 public schools in Akwa Ibom State, and so far we've intervened in over 80% of those schools. So it is an ongoing exercise, and I'm happy that from April the story will also change in your school.
Thank you.
This long column of children, well dressed, impeccably dressed in good uniform and clean, from a public secondary school, not private school. So I am very, very impressed, and I want to commend the school authority for these beautiful children. They also look confident, and they look like they are ready to go. The National Good Governance Tour is to look at problems and challenges as we move on. And definitely, governance is very, 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 very difficult. And sometimes the question of reporting is very important, because I know that if the state government is aware that some roofs were blown up, it's not beyond the state government to correct this. So sometimes, you are close by and information will never reach you. I know that the government of Akwa Ibom has a well-laid out educational policy, and I'm also impressed with the general development we have seen in Akwa Ibom State. And I know that the governor is a very serious-minded person who is working for the transformation of this state as a model. We can't solve all problems one day, and the resources are well laid. Even at the federal level, there are places we have not touched. No matter how hard you work, you cannot resolve the problem that we have inherited in a day, in a year. It's not possible. But I'm happy that the state government has a laid out plan and is already working on a transformation of these schools. And we would like to visit 1 or 2 schools where interventions have been made, so that members of the team can make comparisons with what we have seen here and the work that the state government is doing. And I think that will be what to do. I'm also grateful that we came.
If you look around the infrastructure here, government rehabilitated all the blocks in the school, like the Secretary to Government mentioned to you earlier. And when the state government moves in on any school, the rehabilitation and renovation comes in full. In some cases, new blocks are built. In this particular school, some blocks were brought down totally and rebuilt, and then you have toilet facilities, water, boreholes, some within. If you look to the back, you will find toilet facilities built, and then the school is also fenced around because it's in a built-up city area and high-traffic area to protect the children from vehicular traffic. This is also one example of the over 2,500 rehabilitated schools within school blocks in the state.
Unlike other states of the Federation, where the Good Governance team spent 2 days to inspect projects, the team's audacious bid to compress the 6 Akpabio years of uncommon transformation in a 2-day visit failed. Overwhelmed by the magnitude of projects to be visited, the team did what it never did in other states of the Federation: extend its visit by a day. So, on the 3rd day, Saturday 9th March 2013, the team, in a bid to probe into the spread of the Akpabio deliverables beyond the capital city, visited some projects outside Uyo. Some of the projects included the magnificent City Plaza in the oldest local government in Nigeria, Ikodekpene, the massively remodeled Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikodosura, where the state government had constructed several buildings, offices, lecture halls, and about 8.8 kilometers of internal roads. The Godswill Akpabio Unity Hall in Afar, Ikodebak, the Senodem local government area, the police secondary school, Ukana, built, furnished and donated to the Nigerian police force by the state government. The medium security prisons, Ukana, also built, equipped and donated to the Nigerian prison service by the state government. The Cottage Hospital, Ukana, one of 5 such cottage hospitals completed by the state government, and the federal government funded East-West Road. Yet again, on the 3rd day, the Good Governance team still failed in its attempt to visit the plethora of Akpabio deliverables in the state. But this time, instead of another futile attempt by extending their visit, they were smart enough to beat a retreat to Government House, Uyo, for the Citizens Forum segment of the tour. Setting the evening in motion was a welcome speech by the Honorable Commissioner for Information in the state, Mr. Nyekan Umana.
We went to the prisons, we went to schools, we went to hospitals, we drove through beautiful roads, we went through excellent infrastructure with 4th Street lighting. The team saw so much that even last night they had to plead with us to stop. And we said to them, no, we cannot stop. They said we must stop, it's already late. We said to them, we must still continue. Furthermore, we went around some infrastructure and schools yesterday. At some point, Dr. used to the beauty around some of the schools and ministers. So the minister forgot when he put on his goalkeeping clothes and went to the post and was looking for the ball, but there was no football. So we had to move out and went back to the ball. They said we had I want to recap by saying that it's been a very sweet experience in the last 36 hours and thereabouts, and I will leave the rest for the members of the team. I'd like to very specially welcome all of you to the White House State and say welcome to Good Governance. Thank you very much.
Thereafter, the NUJ President Malam Muhammad Garuba and representatives of various civil society organizations summed their impressions on the visit, as well as reeled out questions posted on their websites by members of the public.
While for us as the media, I want to also believe that this is a platform for us to perform our constitutional responsibility of informing and educating Nigerians about what is happening in our country today. I therefore use this opportunity on behalf of our team to commend His Excellency the Executive Governor for transforming our country. And most importantly, Your Excellency, we also observe that we saw similar concepts and similar programs in other states. But here in Akwa Ibom, we observe that these programs and projects are more scientific, well-planned, and more.
Your Excellency, I want to say here that you have performed wonderfully well. There are so many programs before you. The unfortunate, the military era was quite unfortunate in Nigeria. What you have done But where we see government do well, we say it. Because we represent the conscience of the Nigerian people. We have seen that it is the state government here that have done marvelously well about the security situation in our country. That the federating unit, I think the state, should be saddled with more responsibility. Because our record has shown to us that if you give the state more responsibility, they will give her.
That of people can now raise their head high in esteem. If you were looking for a house girl or house boy, come back. But now, after your state people are looking for house boys and house girls somewhere.
I've been privileged to join this team to few states, and I kept telling them when you come to my state that you'll see the difference, and I'm sure and I'm glad they are all seeing with their own eyes.
Your Excellency, with due respect, where credit is due, people should give that credit to the person. And in this respect, credit is absolutely due to you for the wonderful contribution that you're making. Now, looking of course into the good governance story is a project that is very, very important because as we have noted, it became a platform whereby the electors can interact with the government. And this is the opportunity for each and every one of us to be able to do that. Now I'm speaking from the diaspora angle, that Your Excellency, many cities and many countries in the world are used as an example, whereby people say, I'm going on a holiday to so place and to such place. And looking at our Bible state, I want to say our Bible state can become the destination of choice in Nigeria to be able to transform and bring the national destiny and parties.
The stage was then set for the thoroughly impressed Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Mako, to make his speech. He praised the Akpabio administration for the superlative strides recorded and summed that indeed democracy was working in Akwa Ibom, a state he further described as the new commercial nerve center of the Gulf of Guinea.
The Akwa Ibom state we used to know in the 80s and 90s is now completely different from what we have. I can say that the difference between the snail speed of the past and the jet speed of development in Akwa Ibom now is leadership. Now the roads that we have seen in Akwa Ibom are comparable to the roads you will see anywhere in Abuja. Anywhere you will see properly built roads. Those roads will last quite a long time. But the story of Akwa Ibom is not those roads. The story of Akwa Ibom, as I've seen, is that there is a spread in development. The Ibadan port, which we are planning, which the president and the federal government support, we must drag it to conclusion so that we get investors to begin work on the Ibadan port before the end of the administration. The idea is that Akwa Ibom will become then the new commercial headquarters of the Gulf of Guinea because you are within the oil and gas sector. And if this happens, you will be strategically relocating this state and Dubai, which I believe is your dream. With the airport, with the seaport that you are planning, with the roads, with the infrastructure, the new electricity plant, I believe this state can overtake some of the commercial centers of this country in the direct sector.
The human spirits behind the uncommon transformation of the state, Governor Godswill Akpabio then mounted the rostrum. Decked in a fitting white kaftan, the brand new chairman of the PDP Governors Forum appreciated all the probes from the public before once again reeling out his impressive 6 years resume of good governance.
In terms of roads, we have done over 1,000 kilometers of roads. And we have done over 200 kilometers of federal roads. Our minister, the federal government is owing us over 130 billion in intervention on federal roads. For the good governance tour, you came to see good governance, and I'm sure you have seen enough, but you haven't seen anything yet. Yes. I wish you had time, Honourable Minister, to go down, because when you were talking, I noticed Let me tell you something. It is not good to do this tour and come to your Bible and do it for 3 days. It took me 6 years. You should at least have stayed for a month. Because when you were talking, somebody mentioned something about agriculture. I was smiling. Our women are so happy because even last year alone, we intervened by producing over, my wife, how many billions did you share to your women? She shared out 4.5 billion. And we have not, I don't want to talk about the ones we have spent on unemployed youth. We give them 500,000 naira each after training them. And they have poultry, they have hatchery, they have all sorts of things across the state. You don't have time to see those things. We have built as a government, which we are going to give out to the private sector to run, the biggest hatchery in South Nigeria that will produce day-old chicks in 1 year. Uran is also one of the local governments in the state that enjoys the housing project. We have just built 500 units of houses in Uran. And if you go and look, I'm building a brand new deputy governor's lodge and it will be completed in May. I give you a date, we are commissioning it in May. You have a brand new governor's lodge, you have a brand new governor's office, you have a brand new governor's banquet hall, you have 11 brand new guest houses, you have a deputy governor's house, you have over 2,000 units of houses. How many places are you going to achieve? Working very hard to bring industries to the state. One of the things we are doing is that we are attempting to partner with the private sector to build industrial clusters. But even at that, we have also, through EPIPOP, encouraged some private individuals who have already opened small factories here and there. We want to see whether we can have at least one small factory or one small industry for the local government. I just mentioned to you that we have completed with the private sector a gas processing plant in Ezeke, and we did 69 kilometers of gas pipeline to supply the Bompawa Aluminium Smelter Company and also going to supply to the NIPP in Calabar. We have a very robust plan to bring up the Baka Industrial City, not just the deep sea port alone. And we are on a road show as I speak with you. So I must say that I thank all of you, and especially the members of the National Assembly, led by Senator Aloysius Little. I pray that this will be continuous. It must continue. You shouldn't end in just this one visit. Please try and come again.
The 3-day visit of the Nigerian Good Governance Tour Group to the state, the longest visit to any state in the country, has once again brought to the fore the magical transformation of the hitherto decaying public utilities of a state to first-class ones capable of comparison with any in the African continent. Another pointer to the governor's passion, as testified by the August team, is that all the projects are populist projects intended to better the lot of the Akwa Ibom people. No wonder the rest of the country has made the land of promise their preferred destination for business and leisure. Welcome to the new Akwa Ibom, the home of uncommon transformation. But lest we forget, before Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio came into office, it was not so. To God be the glory.
Zenith Bank Media, in collaboration with the Bureau of Technical Matters, presents Lest We Forget, a celebration of the magical and pragmatic strides of the Chief Godswill Akpabio administration in closing the loud development gulf between the past and the present in Akwa Ibom State. Lest we forget the true story of uncommon transformation.